Well, truly, the Lions don't have many holes to fill in the wide receiver room. It will come down to what the Lions decide to do with ex wide receiver Tim Patrick. Now, if they just decide to not bring him back, or if they really think they need to add weapons to this team as far as wide receivers, I don't know that looking at free agency is the way to go. And I've looked over the list of available free agents, and I just don't think the Lions are going to be willing to overspend on some of the higher priced free agents that'll be out there. Let's say a T. Higgins. And again, I don't know, even with some of the guys that you might be able to get at the right price, if you really want to bring them in. Now, two names that stuck out to me, I believe, were Keenan Allen, who will be coming from the Chicago Bears, and I thought had a very down year there, but he's ultimately always been a Lion killer. And I think he'd be good in this offense. I think, again, it'd be a one-year deal. It'd be a prove-it situation, and only if Tim Patrick doesn't come back or you feel good about what you get behind him. Because, again, his production wasn't there. He dropped a lot of passes this year. So there was a lot of bad within the same division as the Lions. But, again, I think within the Lions offense, you're not asking anything of him. You really are going to use him in spot situations as that true X wide receiver. You hope he'll get you a ball here and there, and I think he could be your guy. The other guy that stood out to me was coming from the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Williams. And, again, there's a injury recovery situation. So the Lions have that history of taking the chance on that kind of player. He is a jump ball weapon when healthy, but is he the right guy and the right fit for the Lions? I'm just not sure. And again, are the Lions willing to pay for the name to add to this room? And again, it really comes down to, do they really need him if Tim Patrick leaves the organization? But outside of that, I just don't think there's the right free agent fit that I'm seeing at the right price for the Lions. So in turn, I think maybe they look towards the draft. And I think the only reason they end up taking a wide receiver, let's say higher in the draft, is if the right fit falls to them, because they are in a situation where they don't have a true hole. I would probably argue it's defensive line as the true need. But if at 28, pick 28, if the right wide receiver falls to them and it's the right guy and they really like the fit, believe me, Brad Holmes will take that player. They're not afraid to add to this offense. Is that the right move? Well, we'll have to see. I mean, you would have said the same thing about Jahmyr Gibbs. So if that sort of situation happens again and they want to add to that room, that's where I see that happening. Certainly more so over than what I saw on the free agent list. So it'll really come down as the right player follow the Lions in the draft to where they say, okay, we're not going to pass on this wide receiver. And if so, more talent would be welcome in that room. Adding it to Amon-Ra St. Brown, the speed of Jameson Williams, you have Khalif Raymond. So there could be a lot of upside to adding young talent to the wide receivers of the Detroit Lions.